It gets harder to know who has access to your data and devices. As such, we developed ways to find data that you may not realize is public. I will show you some concepts and tools on information gathering so everyone can check for themselves. There will be a live demo at the end of the presentation. So why am I here, and who am I? Well, I have a condition called schizencephaly. It is an extremely rare brain condition that at the time, not much was known about it. It can affect everything from physical motor skills, logic skills, speech skills, hearing, eyesight, muscle, and spinal cord communication. I had one of the worst cases at the time, and I am not supposed to be here right now. I was to be a vegetable for the remainder of my life, and I would have multiple seizures a day. But to everybody's amazement, I don't suffer from the standard issues that this condition brings. I only have the poor motor skills. This is confusing to doctors because I am missing a large portion of my brain. But none of that stopped me. I learned that from an early age. While growing up, I liked technology, then learned how to break it afterwards. As you see from the slide, I work on hardware like Arduino and lights. Besides tinkering with hardware or software, I lead a fairly successful social life. Here are my hobbies. They include listen to a lot of music, Spotify mostly, digital art design, because I can't always think in code, getting tattooed, skydiving, skiing, hanging at events, like Colorado blockchain events, and crazy stuff with friends. I keep myself busy whenever I can, or I will go crazy not doing anything. Besides tinkering with hardware or software, I lead a fairly My education includes degrees and training over the years. My newest degree is Mobile Web Specialist by Udacity. It was a 3-month program on web apps. This taught me how to make accessible and responsive web apps with the latest web tech, such as service workers, background sync, etc. As a result, I was able to show that I had the skills to build real-world offline-capable web apps that worked with limited resources. I built a performant restaurant review web app as my final project. My next degree is my computer science degree from Metro State University of Denver. For my undergrad capstones, I built 2 big projects and teams. The first project was a Federal Aviation Administration collision avoidance system for the cockpits of all aircraft. The system will receive real-time radar data and need to continuously calculate if a collision is likely and give several different levels of warning. The second project was a honeypot server that allows connections to be made to it and mimics the appropriate protocols that are defined as add-ons without actually allowing system access. It gathers information from whoever attempts the connection and stores the information remotely in a Mongo database. This application was built around running on a Raspberry Pi Zero to make it easy to deploy in any physical environment with a network. We wanted a cost-effective solution that could be installed in a matter of minutes. For university, I got a full ride scholarship from Daniels Fund in 2011. For my training, I went to Secure Sub in Denver. They had war games that taught information security. It focused on course material on modern malware analysis, network security, applied cryptography, strategy, and governance, risk management, and compliance. And finally, I am going to Hawaii in April for more training at Loco Moco Security Conference. While there, I will be getting trained in a highly intensive and interactive 2-day course provided essential application security training for web application and web service developers and architects. T was taught by Jim Manico. He is the founder of Manicode Security, where he trains software developers on secure coding and security engineering. He is also the founder of Brakeman Security, Inc., and is an investor/advisor for Signal Sciences and Discovery. My overall work experience includes 2 positions at MSU Denver. Information Technology Services, such as the help desk team, for about 2 years, and then I switched to the infosec team for about 3 years. That was fun since it was actual work. I got to work with some cool people during my time there. I hope to see them after my honk. But for current work, I am a freelancer working on small projects since graduation in 2016. To build up experience for my future dream career as a red team member or tech tool software engineer, which creates special tools and exploits for red teams. For the conference life, I attend and speak at awesome conferences all over the world. They are DEF CON 24, GeekFon 2016, Kaspersky Security Summit 2017, Secure Site Expert Panel Series, Black Hat 2016, at Denver 2019, and finally, LACMA 2019. For some of the conferences, I did some power wheelchair hacking that got me on news internationally. What's the big deal? Well, the word is that I reverse engineered a medical protocol called RNet. RNet is an extension to CAN bus. RNet is meant to be a The word is that I reverse engineered a medical protocol called RNet. RNet is an extension to CAN bus. RNet is meant to be a multi-module electronic system designed specifically to control the speed, direction, and many other functions on powered wheelchairs. This is the intended purpose and function. And to set the bar on its competition, RNet tries to be future-ready too. It allows for on-the-fly device configuration, as well as adding new devices to chairs. But the options for users are limited. Users only have a few add-ons to make their lives more easy. The only exciting add-ons are the light module, which adds street hazard lights, and the Bluetooth module. It appears that innovation in this area has stopped completely until I came along with my research. The add-ons that do exist are completely outdated and strangely limiting, lowering its overall usefulness to the user. These devices do not fit in the 21st century. I will now play a demo video. word is that I reverse ent. Pretty cool demo, right? So why hack the chair? Well, I can't talk while typing to people. And that's a problem. I want to fix that, as the hacking allows more customizable options like sensors, and it will let you to personalize your chair with sensors, LED lights, speakers, and etc. But wait, we can do other things with a wheelchair to our advantage. Combining my passions with style, war driving, and open source intelligence, and with a bit of hacking. These things allow for crazy things. For example, imagine that I need to do a pen test or recon mission on some company or person. I could easily use my research to add passive WIFI scanning hardware or anything else. People will think I need it if they see me in my chair. I'm sneaky like that. I'm in a wheelchair and you see my laptop with all of my gadgets. I needed to talk with anyone. People think I'm super harmless and all, like Stephen Hawking. You are not seeing a hacker. Oh no, of course not. Why would you? Since everyone assumes that I'm not able to work like other people in wheelchairs, well, let me say one thing. They are totally screwed to think that. I'm using my social engineering skills to the next level and my chair hardware in a unique way. What if I told you that my physical limitations are in fact an attack vector? How is this possible? Well, let me show you tools that make this possible in the next few slides. You may be wondering, what is war driving? War driving is the act of searching for Wi-Fi wireless networks and devices by a person, usually in a moving vehicle, using a laptop or smartphone. Software for war driving is freely available on the internet. The data can be used to find free Wi-Fi AP spots from afar. Range can be up to 2 miles with the correct hardware. Data can also be used to map locations. And a lot more. Examples on the next slides. In this slide you will see a really big Wi-Fi antenna with a DEFCON flag, because you might as well go out with a bang. You can imagine that people and the government are wondering what the hell you are doing. And you'll be right. Like hackers, they also have cool hardware to detect stuff like this. This is a friend's setup that they wrote for 2 hours. In this time period, they found about 74,000 networks. They were able to do this because they were not actively searching or exploiting networks. In some cases, war driving is legal if you are just passively listening. And my friends did just that. So when they were questioned by the Secret Service agents or FBI agents that watched them, they were fine to go scot-free. And before you go do this, do your research and read up on the regulations and laws. Otherwise you will be in hot water. War driving isn't limited to just cars. You can go small scale, on foot. This is called the Wi-Fi cactus. By now, you probably know where I'm taking this. If not, see the next slide. Yup, you guessed it. Power wheelchair war driving. What more do you want? Even though I have my power wheelchair to gather data, the data is useless. We need tools to help us understand what we collected. That is open source intelligence, and it is one of the key aspects in understanding the cybersecurity that rules the internet and devices these days, or any other aspects and activities that need information gathering. For example, you probably want to know what exists on a network at some point. The kind of things you can find can be very interesting. You could find images of yourself on a random spot, or fake profiles of your dogs. Anything is possible and will be done. But the question is what tools you use. Open source intelligence, OSINT, is described as information collected from public sources such as those available on the internet, although the term isn't strictly limited to the internet, but rather means all publicly available sources. And the words open source mean something else in the intelligence world. In this case, it is not related to the famous open source software movement, but to any publicly available source where the user can obtain the information in their intelligence data collection. Sources like Twitter posts, Facebook posts, blogs, newspaper, or domain name service records. So basically, you can use any public source you want. Here are some key points to follow. Information gathering is the important thing in open source intelligence, and most importantly, any information that can be obtained for free is open source. It doesn't matter if it is located inside newspapers, blogs, web pages, tweets, social media cards, images, podcasts, or videos, as long as it is public, free, and legal to use. Things that can't be called open source include private information, best friend secrets, or stuff that is not public to others. Of course, you can apply the same techniques to private information or any system. We are just using information that is out there already. Fun fact, everyone uses open source intelligence. Many of us might associate open source intelligence with cyber warfare, cyber attacks, cybersecurity, etc. And while those things are a part of it, open source intelligence is much more explicit and uncomplicated. Let me explain. Everyday open source intelligence examples include asking questions on any search engine, research public forums on how to fix your computer, watch a YouTube video on how to make a birthday cake, or looking on Facebook for your girlfriend's birthday date. So, as you see, you don't need to be a hacker to use open source intelligence in your daily life. You're already using it, you just might have not known it. Alright, time to talk about open source intelligence tools now. Since we are focused on modern open source intelligence for the cybersecurity fields, we will now take a look at how we can benefit from it. We don't want to gather info by hand, especially if it's a large organization. That's too much for our poor hands. Open source intelligence tools include Multigo. This is an advanced tool to organize any type of data. Chavez, People Tracker. Kismet. Kismet is a wireless network and device detector, sniffer, and war driving tool. And many more tools exist. Everything listed here is also free to use. Finally, I will now demo Multigo while real-world target, and that will be Dr. Steve Beatty. He has given me full permission to do this. Example 1. Using Multigo to collect and store info. We need a juicy target first. I chose to target Steve Beatty for a few reasons. He is an MSU Denver CS professor. He is on the news everywhere. He's also nutty at times. Who knew? He has a website. Let's find it. Plus, he's pretty cool and teaches infosec.